them too.
Hello and welcome to Treak Cliff Cavern. So today we're going to have a look at caves. We are here in the Peak District. If you come around here and have a look, we've come up to the Peak District and we're just talking all about caves today. So let's go inside the cave and take a look.
Go.
Welcome, we're in a cave and we're up in the Peak District. Now this rock is limestone, so limestone was made 300 million years ago. This limestone was made at the bottom of a coral sea, which is very much like a tropical environment. And up here you can see there's lots of little seashells that fell to the bottom of the ocean and they got squashed down into this rock and compressed. And over time it's formed this limestone rock, which is then pushed through tectonic uplift, which then means this rock is now above the surface. At the time this was made, we were by the equator. We've now drifted all the way up to here. And this is now how this limestone is formed. So we're going to go further into the cave and we're going to go and have a look at how the cave has eroded it. So we're deeper in the cave here, and what we've got here, if you come over a bit closer, these are some minerals. This is called blue John, which is quite good because I'm John, I'm wearing blue. And these are an example of a metamorphic rock. So limestone is a sedimentary rock, been formed by layers, been squashed down. This is metamorphic, it's been changed by heat and pressure. And these are very valuable, and if you go to the gift shop here, you can buy these in the shop. And these are like a semi-precious crystal. Also in this, the other thing with caves are a natural phenomenon, whereas if it's dug out by people, it's called a mine. Over here we can see evidence of the first minecrafters. This is where Steve first came down and started mining blocks with his netherite sword. And it's an example of Minecraft in the real world, not in the Minecraft world. So now we can see how these caves are formed. So we've got this limestone rock, and then what happens is limestone's got tiny little cracks in it. And what happens is water gets into those cracks, and eventually more and more water comes in, and eventually you get an underground stream. And if you have a look behind me, this is a massive cave that's been formed through erosion, just through an underground stream coming in. Now it started to form when the water table was a lot higher in the cave. And it's eroded this huge cave all the way down over thousands and thousands of years and made a ginormous space. And then about 11,000 years ago, the water is now lower down. So there is a stream lower down in the cave we can't see. All these other things started to form. And as water goes in through the rock, it leaves behind a little tiny mineral when it drops from the surface. And you can hear some drips behind me. And that mineral is called calcite. And it leaves behind these stalactites, stalagmites. There's something called flowstone, which you can see over there, which is all sort of like looks like a funny, shiny bit over the rock. And these are all minerals that have come through the rock. So remember stalactites and stalagmites? Stalactites hold on tight to the ceiling, stalagmites grow out from the floor. So yes, this is another part of how the cave is formed. Okay, so here we have some stalactites. So if you have a look over there, these are formed where water's going through the tiny little gaps in the limestone, and as the water comes through it drips, and each drip leaves behind a little tiny bit of calcium carbonate, leaving behind a stalactite. And you can see underneath them there's the stalagmites forming. Eventually, these are probably thousands of years old, and as they grow really, really, really slowly, and eventually they'll join up and make a pillar. So these are formed after the cave is formed. The collective term for all these things inside are a speleotherm. That's what we've got in this cave.
This is the fairyland. We think that the dripstone looks like carrot and pasta.
And it also reminds me of cheesy mashed potatoes. We've almost got the entire Christmas dinner.
So I guess the key message here is water in the rock is the big thing that's made these caves. Just one last thing about the water. Up above us there's a big sheet, and what's happening is water's being collected in that sheet, and it comes down here to this big tank. And this is where they get the water for the shop upstairs. And as the water goes through the rock, it cleans it. And so spring water that you get out of rock is really clean. That's why if you ever buy like a mineral water, it always says it comes from like a spring because it's nice and clean water. So this is then going to go up to the shop, and I'm going to go upstairs to the shop now and have some nice cave water coffee. So I'll see you in a minute.
Go.
So we're now out of the cave, and we've got to a lovely viewpoint here. And this board, information board here, has been put here by the people who look after the cave.
And most caves have popular visitors because they're quite good to look at, and a lot of it leads up to Minecraft.
We're in the museum here, and there's lots of different crystals, and we found like a dragon. It looks like an ender dragon from Minecraft on a crystal, and there are lots of different ones. There's a witch's table. It's golden, and it's really got lots of colour.
And most of these crystals look a bit like obsidian from Minecraft as well. And like they're mainly purple and obsidian is purple in Minecraft.
So I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the cave. I've got here my cave coffee. So the water here has fallen down from the sky's precipitation, gone through the limestone rock into the cave where it's collected in the tank I showed you earlier. It's come back up to the shop here. Now I'm having a lovely coffee. So if you're ever in the Peak District, come and check out some of the caves. We've got loads of caves up here. And now it's back to you, Mr. Pierce, in the classroom.